Every sponsor asks the same question, usually within the first minute. What did it save? It's a fair question. And it's where a lot of improvement work quietly loses credibility. Because the honest answer is more complicated than a single number, and the temptation is to give them a single number anyway. This lesson is the benefits register, and the discipline that makes it believable. Go to benefits. Track the savings this project delivers. And read the second sentence, because that is the governance in one line. Realized, finance signed benefits roll up into the org portfolio scorecard. So there are two gates before a number ever reaches a scorecard. It has to be realized, and finance has to have signed it. Nothing captured yet. So let's add what we can actually defend. The charter said slow support is named in one of 3 churn exit notes, and put about 150,000 of ARR at risk a year. That was Chapter 3 before we had measured anything. If the fix retains even a fifth of that, it is 30,000 a year. And notice how I'm phrasing it. 20% of the 150,000 the charter already put at risk. The assumption goes in the title of the benefit, where a sponsor can see it and argue with it. Now the classification, because these 3 words are not interchangeable. Hard, cash that leaves the P&L or stops leaving it. Headcount, licenses, overtime, scrap. You can point at a line in a budget. Soft, real value that doesn't show up as cash. Time released, quality, morale, avoidance, a cost or a loss that would have happened and now won't. Our churn number is this one. Nobody is going to watch 30,000 pounds arrive. They're going to see revenue that didn't leave. And here is the part I want to be blunt about. We are not claiming a labor saving, and we easily could have. We cut 2.3 hours off first response. But that is waiting time, not working time. No agent got an hour back. A ticket simply sat in a queue for less of 1. Booking that as productivity would be counting queue time as capacity. And it is the single most common way a benefits register turns into fiction. The other direction deserves saying too. The midday sweep costs 20 minutes a day. Across 250 working days, that's 83 agent hours a year. A real cost, which belongs in an honest business case. 1 row. Because 1 row is what we can defend. Now look at the state of it. Realize 0. In flight, 30,000. And the benefit itself is tagged proposed with 3 actions next to it. Edit, approve, finance, delete. Here's the part that matters. Alex proposed this number. Watch what happens when she tries to approve it herself. Refused. This workspace requires 4 eyes approval. The person who proposed a benefit cannot approve it. Word for word, the rule we set on the governance dial. And the row hasn't moved. Still proposed. So the approval has to come from the second pair of eyes. Priya, finance. She reviewed the claim from her side, and she signed it. Look at the row now. Approved by finance. Her name on it. Not typed into a box. Stamped from her own sign-in. And realize still reads 0 because approved money is not banked money. That last step comes when the savings actually land. And the last piece is the report itself. Up in the header, report. View report. That's the executive document we walked through last lesson. Download PDF, the same thing as a file, for an email or a steering pack. And save as template, which we'll come back to at the end of this chapter, because it is how one good project becomes the starting point for the next one. The PDF isn't a separate artifact you have to maintain. It is the same project rendered. So, 1 defensible claim, correctly classified, honestly unsigned, and a report you can hand over. If you take one thing from this lesson, take the classification. Hard, soft, avoidance. Most arguments about whether a project delivered anything are really arguments about which of those 3 somebody meant. And writing it down in advance ends the argument before it starts. Next lesson, we close the project properly. The completion gates. What happens at 100%? How to reopen it if you need to. And the sustain view that only unlocks once it's done. See you there.